Hi folks, and welcome to my first episode of Backyard Birds. If you've watched our fishing show in the past, you probably have noticed that I am fascinated by the underworld of fish and studying different types of species and things of that nature. Well, I hold the same passion with birds. So for this video, we're going to talk about different birds and we're going to examine birds in the backyard. I've put together a backyard feeder with my wife that has a video system that goes back to my phone, and we can watch these birds and create videos on them and watch them in their own little world. It's quite interesting. So what we did was, for this episode, we put together a mix and put it in the backyard, as well as putting in under different types of fruits and nuts and berries and things of that nature to attract the most common species of birds that we can get this time of year. So we hope you enjoy this. To add to this, we also put in different things like strawberries, blueberries, peaches. Those were to attract the fruit birds. But this time of year, you also get a lot of finches, chickadees, titmouses, and things of that nature, and you'll see those on this episode. I'm going to speak through those different types of birds and allow you to see that. There's also some impostors in this video. We hope that you enjoy those as well, because they're a lot of fun. So enjoy the video, folks, and we'll talk to you at the end. All right, folks, we have a bird feeder that we got, and we have a camera in this bird feeder, and it's linked to the cloud and my phone, set up by a motion detector, and it also has a solar panel on it so that it can go 24/7. So we're just going to see what birds show up here over the next few months, and we're going to do a summer birds of New England or summer birds of Massachusetts episode. So hope you enjoy. Folks, this is a house finch. You'll notice how he's red. It's a male finch. These finches originally came from California back in the 40s to New York. They were part of a illegal trade of birds. They're actually known as Hollywood finches at the time because of their red. And they were brought to New York to be sold on the illegal market. And when they got here, I guess the cops got onto them or whatnot, and they had to get rid of the house finches, so they let them out into the wild. And they quickly spread throughout not only eastern United States, but most of the United States. Another thing you'll notice about the house finch, folks, is they oftentimes come to feeders in groups, in flocks. They are very, very social. You'll hear them singing and things of that nature, where some of the other birds that we saw here were more loners, we'll say. One thing we can look forward to with the house finch is that they will be here year-round. They do not migrate out of this region. They're year-round residents of Douglas. So we'll be able to see them throughout our videos in the fall as well. However, they're mostly attracted to seed, sunflower seeds and things of that nature. They don't go for the suit as much, but they'll go for it. Maybe just not as much as the seed. Here, folks, I'm putting in some fruits to attract some fruit birds, such as the gray catbird, potentially the American robin, things of that nature. I put some bananas in here, but they don't really go for bananas. Most of the fruit birds like blueberries as well as strawberries, more natural forage for around the area. Don't scare my birds away, Mr. Chipmunk. I warn you. Stay off of there. It was just a nice bird. He didn't eat that much of it. Get out of here now. I'm warning you. Get out of here. Don't come back. Folks, these squirrels are getting out of control. We're gonna have to make some changes. My wife Sarah just went to pick some stuff up, but you'll see what I'm talking about. This thing is going off every 10 seconds now. I'm gonna come. It's ridiculous. You need to move this thing because I'm not gonna let these birds eat all my feed. Not to mention they scare the other animals away. You, come here. No, over here. Where are you? Where are you? Don't come back. You, come here. No, over here. Where are you? Where are you? Don't come back. All right, folks, so you see we have this thing, it's called a baffle, and we're gonna put this down, and we're gonna put this flange underneath it so that the baffle is up. You wanna have it about 3 feet, otherwise the squirrels will just jump on it and, you know, that kind of thing. And you wanna keep it about 10 feet from any trees. So we'll see if this works to keep these guys out of here. It's not that I have anything against them, it's just that's not the purpose of this exercise, so, all right. Okay, so this baffle's up, folks, and that should keep them out. We'll see what happens. See if we get some more birds. All right, folks, I got some of this petroleum jelly to put on here, and this will keep them, they'll slide off if they try to climb up on it. I'm gonna put it on. You might ask why I'm going to such trouble. Why don't I just, you know, hang it higher or hang it off of there? I could do that. Well, I want the ground birds to come up on here too, the sparrows and stuff, especially given that it's summer. There's more sparrows and stuff in the area, and the finches will go on it either way, but I want the sparrows to go for it. So
That's why I want it a little bit closer to the ground. Well, I got it all, got the petroleum jelly on it, folks. Now, if that chipmunk or that squirrel can climb up this thing, man, they got Harry Houdini beat. But we'll see. These guys have done, they're just amazing athletes. But we're not here to film them. We're here to film the birds. Maybe we'll do a special section on them sometime, but not right now.
One thing you'll want to make note of here, folks, is the house finch can be confused with the purple finch. You'll notice with this male house finch here that his chest is red towards the top. The purple finch will be red throughout the entire bird, throughout the entire chest. Plus, the purple finch generally shows up in like October and ranges in Douglas till about April or so. So the house finch is a year-long resident, as we discussed earlier.
He's just relaxing out there, not bothering anybody. Of course, he's been digging holes all over our backyard. He's a cute little guy, though. Alright.
He's bigger than I thought.
He's a big guy. That Gary's been digging all these holes in our backyard. So you're the culprit.
Okay, folks, so I'm putting some unsalted peanuts in the tray here. You can see the finch isn't really attracted to the peanuts, but this titmouse sure is. So folks, you'll notice a common theme with the tufted titmouse. They take the peanuts and they store them in their den. This titmouse will be here year-round, folks. He is a permanent resident of the Douglas area.
Here's that eastern cottontail again, folks. I thought he was the one digging the holes in the backyard, but apparently it was a chipmunk. Found that out later on. So he's of no bother. I'm gonna let him just chill here. You know, he's part of our yard. He's kind of like a pet, only we don't have to feed him or anything. He just eats what's in the backyard, and when we go, we don't have to worry about boarding him.
So as you can see here, folks, there are multiple titmice, and they are hoarding these peanuts. And what they're going to do is take them back to their den and save them and eat them later. Peanuts are high energy, and this is the type of food that you should feed the birds. Of course, they should be unsalted because salt hurts the birds' kidneys. As you can imagine, as a human, you don't want to eat too much salt. Well, birds don't either. It'll affect their kidneys, and they have much smaller kidneys than humans. Notice the finches are more social than the titmouse. And wait till you see the chickadee. He's very unsocial too. He'll be coming up soon. So folks, here we have our first migratory bird. This is a chipping sparrow. And they migrate south in the winter. He's just here for the summer. Here's that chipping sparrow again, folks. This is really early in the morning. He showed up. He'll actually migrate to the southern United States. He may even go down to Mexico or Central America. And he'll fly in flocks at night to get there. This is a gray catbird, folks. And you'll notice he'll go for this strawberry. The chipping sparrow likes millet. They are into smaller seed. One thing that I do to attract sparrows is I put a little bit of seed on the ground. Sparrows are ground birds, so if they start eating it on the ground, they'll oftentimes come up to the feeder when they run out to get more. So folks, here's that gray catbird. They usually show up really early in the morning and they go for fruit. I had some strawberries in the tray and he was checking them out. There he goes. They are migratory as well. They travel to the Caribbean and the southern United States in the winter, and they travel in smaller flocks as well at night, similar to the chipping sparrow. So the titmouse is like the blue jay, folks. They're going to come and they're going to take the peanut and take off with it. We didn't get any jays in this episode, but we're hoping to, maybe in the fall, to get some jays and put them in here with the titmouse. As I said earlier, folks, this guy goes for small seed like millet. As you can see here, folks, the titmice have found this area now. This guy's called in all his buddies, and they're going to go to town on this feeder. They're stocking up. So, folks, this is a very common bird, the American goldfinch. I call this my Pittsburgh Steeler bird, and they're very, very easy to recognize, obviously being black and gold. So folks, this is the black-capped chickadee. It's not uncommon for this guy to show up. In fact, I'm surprised it took him so long. He's actually the Massachusetts state bird. The chickadee is also a year-round resident of Douglas. So the chickadee, like the titmouse, likes to cache their food. The chickadee can remember thousands of different hiding places. So you'll notice this chickadee here is taking his sesame seeds and the peanuts and he's hiding them. Well, he can remember thousands of different places as to where they're at. He has a remarkable memory. The chickadee is also a year-round resident. He'll be here throughout the winter. He will not be migrating like the chipping sparrow or the gray catbird. So oftentimes, folks, you'll see the chickadee with the titmouse. The chickadee will act as a lookout and let the titmouse know and other birds of similar type of birds know when there's predators in the area, such as hawks or cats, things of that nature. So folks, you'll see a rare minor squabble between the chickadee and the titmouse, and that's because they live in similar areas. The house sparrows are more of a bully. We haven't seen much of that in these videos, but if we see any of those show up in new videos, you'll notice that the house sparrows tend to bully even more than the titmouse or the chickadees. So here's a rare fact about the chickadee. Their brain power grows extra neurons in the fall so that they can remember caching. They really stock up in the fall with their caching. This guy's doing a lot of caching now, and it's the middle of the summer, so. The tufted titmouse has a tendency to bully some of the other birds, like the chickadees, as well as the American goldfinch around the feeder. If you live in the South, folks, you have the Carolina chickadee that is most prevalent. The finches came back, folks. As you can see, they come together a lot, and they're much more social than some of these other birds, particularly the chickadee and titmouse. So the chipping sparrow came back, folks. And the reason that I know this is a chipping sparrow is because of the rusty cap on his head. A house sparrow doesn't have that. This chipping sparrow is actually very, very nice. House sparrows can be a little bit rough at the feeder, but this guy is really laid back and cool. I like having him there. You can see how he came up from the ground. He was eating on the ground. One of the nicknames for the chickadee is the feathered squirrel because of their remarkable memory in terms of caching peanuts and things of that nature. It's funny because the titmouse actually relies on the alarm calls of the chickadee. Even though he was kind of yelling and pushing them around earlier, they are mutual allies. So folks, I wanted to take a last attempt to try to get some fruit birds for this episode to no avail. However, I did add some peaches. They did attract some activity towards the feeder, but no specific fruit birds. We will look to do those here in the upcoming weeks to try to get more different species of birds, and then we'll do another video with distinctive species of particular birds, probably in another month or two. So this guy, this chipping sparrow, he'll be around for another couple months and then he'll be heading south. We can rely on seeing the titmouse throughout the entire year, folks, so he'll be on other episodes as well. He may not be as pronounced of a figure on other episodes because we want to diversify these things, and he's taken up a major role on this video. However, you learned a lot about him in this video, so in future episodes I may show him, I may not show him as much though. Folks, if there are any type of facts that you want to add about your personal bird feeder and some of the behaviors you've seen in other birds throughout the year in the feeder, please feel free to comment. I really want this to be interactive and a learning type of video, particularly as it relates to the birds. The fishing videos that I have are a little more along the lines of action, but these videos for the birds are going to be more educational. We'll definitely try to get some action, particularly if we go after some waterfowl and the kayaks and things like that in the fall and migratory species. However, we want to provide education with these backyard birds because this is a hobby that anyone can really take up, and it's very interesting. Well, the house finch came back here. Here's a female. The male comes here shortly. They were very prominent in this video, and you'll see them in other videos as well, as they're a year-round contributor or year-round resident of Douglas. The chipping sparrow, he showed up several times on this video, and we thank him for his presence. Of course, the titmouse had a huge presence on this video. We want to thank him for his contribution. And the chickadee, one of our favorite birds, is also a state bird. He made his presence known that he's a Massachusetts resident, and he's also the state bird and proud of it. So the finches came back, folks, at the end of this video. The finch on the right, and then the chipping, I think that's a chipping sparrow on the left. So we had a really good video for our first bird video. A lot of birds showed up, and you know, we're going to get a lot more in the fall with migratory species. And what we'll do is we'll try to break the video up and have all the birds in one video, the same types of birds in one section of the video, and we'll break it up so it's not as random. And I think that that'll be very interesting, and we can get into more facts. And in the fall, we're going to get different species of birds. These are mostly common house birds that you see, backyard birds, I should say, that you'll see in the summer. In the fall, you get all different types of species. However, it was fun. We really enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something by watching this. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video of the birds here of Douglas, Massachusetts. We used a sunflower seed mix in this video, and that drew in a lot of finches and things of that nature. In the fall, we're going to have more videos, and we'll use suet and other different types of bird feed mixes to attract different species that are more migratory. We did see a few migratory birds on this video with the gray catbird, as well as that chirping sparrow, or chipping sparrow, I should say. However, we expect to see a lot more in the fall, and we'll continue to do these videos throughout the year, and we may even do some waterfowl videos and things of that nature, so look forward to those. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and we look to seeing you on future fishing shows. Have a great day.